What's going on, Balsa-Kins and Hansa-Kins? This is a DeFi Crypto Alliance show, and I couldn't get my intro to work today. I don't know what's going on in this crazy Monday, so screw it. I'll just come on and let the show begin. So what's going on, Hansa-Kins? What's going on, Balsa-Kins? This is quite wild times we are in. And I figured I want to at least come on and talk about some thoughts of what's going on in the community, what's going on with this new sacrifice, what's going on with Richard Hart, and some steps that we all can do moving forward, right? Um, what are my thoughts of what just transpired with the sacrifice? I do not know. I have mixed emotions about it. I'm very undecisive about which direction this ecosystem is going to go into. Um, I am not capitulating. I am holding my assets. In my opinion, you have a few different options, right? You have the option of selling your bags, moving on. If you do this, understand you pointing the finger at Richard Hart and you pointing the finger and blaming him is not going to help anyone, and it's only going to hurt yourself. Okay. You have to take full accountability and responsibility of the actions you have been taking all the way to this point in the last 4 years. You losing the money that you lost is strictly your fault. If you push a sell button and leave the ecosystem and lose the money, it is your fault. It is not Richard Hart's. You decided to sacrifice. You decided to buy these assets. There's no one to blame but yourself. You need to look yourself in the mirror. That's it. You're never going to get the sacrifice money back from Richard Hart. You're never going to get him to do what you want to do by peer pressuring him with FUD. It's just not going to happen. So you have two options. Well, two big options, right? You can push sell and leave. At that point, don't wallow in your own misery, trying to get everyone else to wallow in your own misery with you. Just leave and move on and start working on something else in your life that produces money, that produces income, that is productive for your life, your mindset, your family. Don't blame anyone else but yourself and learn from your mistakes. Okay, that is option number one. Option number two is just hodl, just hold. There's a few options. I'll go over. I just thought of another one, obviously, and because this one here is just hodling and not sacrificing for the new ProveX protocol and just sitting out and waiting to see what happens through this bear/bull/bear, whatever the hell we in. Bitcoin closed under the 50 moving week average this Sunday. It's a very bearish indicator. Could mean that we are in a bear market now. I give it like a 80-20, 80% we're not, 20% we are, but we need to keep that in the back of our heads that we could be in a bear. So that's something else you need to think about, not just only what's going on in the Richard Hart ecosystem, is crypto as a whole going into a bear market. There is that possibility. Okay, you need to look as an investor, you need to look at all the different outcomes. You need to think about all the different scenarios, and you need to think of what you are going to do moving forward from here. Okay, and so if you're planning on sticking around, this is more my plan. Just hanging out, not selling, hodling, and then focusing on other things in life that make you money. It's kind of what I'm doing right now. I'm not going to capitulate my bags. I made the decision to stick this through. I'm going to stick it through. I still think there is definitely a great possibility that Richard Hart can make something happen where these bags go up. Don't think it's going to happen tomorrow. I don't think it's going to happen in next week. Maybe it happens around the holidays. Maybe it happens in Q1. Who knows? But if we're in a bear market too from Bitcoin, it might not happen at all until next cycle. That's something you have to be prepared for if you're going to hold your bags. If you're going to hold your bags, you need to be prepared for holding all the way through next cycle. That's the unfortunate part right now. Okay, there's no guarantee that these assets are going to pump. In fact, they might go lower. They might go lower and they might establish a new floor. We don't know where these are going to fall, where they're going to stop falling. People are capitulating right now for twofold because one, they've lost their faith and trust in Richard Hart. It's understandable. And then two, they want to sacrifice for Prove X, and they don't have money in the real world to sacrifice it, so they want to buy the new shiny thing, and so they're selling the assets that they have to go buy the new shiny thing, and the only assets they got is the Pulse Chain assets. So option number 2 is just hodl, not participate in the Prove X sacrifice. I'm kind of leaning into this one right now, and then I'm also kind of leaning into the third option here, which is just hodling and participating in the Prove X sacrifice. I will probably put a very small bullet in if I do this, and I would do it through the pool of Buck and Dylan and those guys over there, because I'm not a fan of the 3x multiplier that he's giving. I mean, it hurts the small guys. It hurts most guys, actually, besides the big whales. So I'm not a very big fan of the multiplier. And so I would go into the pool with Buck and those guys to get the 3x multiplier. Unfortunately, yes, there's more risk when you do that. You have counterparty risk. There's a middleman that you got to trust to send you your coins once the coins are released. So you need to trust them to do that. But that is the only viable option that I see for sacrificing for this new protocol. Going in with a few $1,000s or $5,000 or even $10,000, maybe even $50,000 into this new sacrifice is not going to net you enough in the bonus multiplier to mean anything. You're going to get dumped on all the guys who are higher than you. That is the concern there. Okay, so the only viable option is add on a little counterparty risk and go in through the pool. So that is the route I would be taking if I decide to sacrifice for Prove X. I will go through the pool. I'm not going to put a whole lot. I'll put maybe a few $1,000s to go ahead and see if there's something that comes out of that when it launches. And they might not launch also too, guys, for another year or two. We have no idea. There's a lot of risk in gambling when it comes to crypto. We all know this coming into the game. Okay. So I am leaning in towards number 2, option number 2 and number 3. I've took full responsibility of my own actions on the investments I made over the last 4 years. If these investments fail, which there is a probability in that all this fails and goes to shit. It can happen. Okay. Understand that if you decide on option number 2 or 3, you could end up holding, and these could go down to literally almost nothing, and you get nothing back for your time and money served. That is an option. I am willing to take that risk. And if it does work out in that regard, I will blame nobody but myself. I will not turn to Richard Heart and say, you owe me anything. It is my fault. I took the risk. I had to be held accountable for my own actions. So everyone on Twitter screaming and yelling like little girls that they want to blame Richard and call him names and all this, you're the one that pushed the fucking button. You pushed the button to go buy Hex when it was at 30 cents, like I did. You're the one that went sacrifice for Pulse X, like I did. I put 6 figures in there. Okay. You're the one that sacrificed for Pulse. You're the one that's been DCAing for the last 4 years. I have been too. But I take responsibility for my own actions. I still believe there is a great chance for this ecosystem, but there's also a good possibility it can go to shit. Understand that. And if you're going to choose option 2 or 3, be ready for that risk. Be ready for that. Okay. You do not know what's going to happen after the Prove X sacrifice. You do not know what's going to happen during it. You're not going to happen when these things launch. You're not going to know what happened with the Pulse Chain cores. These all can go to effing zero, and there's no one to blame but yourself. If you want to know who to blame, go look yourself in the mirror. So if you can't take that, or you can't swallow that at the end of the day, or get, like, fathom that guilt, that if all this goes to zero, that it's your fault, then you probably should push the sell button now and leave and never look back and go do something else in your life that builds value to this world, to your fellow man, to your fellow woman, right? Like we always talk about on this show, go out there and create value, participate in other investments, probably not crypto. Crypto, I don't care where you're playing at in this space. It is all risky as shit, maybe minus Bitcoin. And even Bitcoin is risky to some degree, right? Just you have a lot less volatility in Bitcoin. That's all it is. So these are the actions moving forward. These are the only things that you basically have in front of you that you could do. You could also continue in DCA into the cores and participate in ProveX. I guess that would be a fourth option. I probably won't be doing that option right now. My bags are big enough where they're at. I'm going to keep my bags where they're at. Any new money right now, we're reinvesting in our business anyways to grow the business, to make sure I have a great, stable foundation in the real world so I can continue taking more risk in crypto. Okay? Because that's more important than crypto, is your stability with your job and business in the real world. And if you have that, then you can take more risk. And eventually one of those risk plays will pay off. But you might strike out on this one, guys. If you strike out, are you prepared for the consequences? Are you going to blame Richard Heart? Well, it's not his fucking fault. It's yours. If you strike out here, who are you going to blame? Once again, look yourself in the mirror and be ready for that. Moving forward. I'm ready for that. I am continuing on. I'm continuing on with the investments. I'm continuing on with holding the cores. I'm continuing on, and I'll probably, haven't decided totally yet, but I'll probably put a little bit into ProveX through the pool. The only way I could see participating in this thing is through the pool. Otherwise, I would not participate at all, in my opinion. I would, any new money, maybe I just continue DCing into the cores, maybe. But that is my thought process with all this. Does it suck? Yeah, it fucking sucks. I'm sorry. Yeah, it sucks, man. I'm here with you. I'm here with you. It sucks that we might go to new lows. Yeah, it sucks. It sucks that Bitcoin might have reached a market cycle top. I give it 80-20. Once again, 20% that it topped, 80% that bull market goes on. But there's a possibility it could have topped. If it topped, guess what? You can't expect these assets to go up either. These are altcoins. You're playing in an altcoin ecosystem. There's no new money, retail money going to be coming in if Bitcoin has topped. That's it. And you still have to be prepared for the consequences of Bitcoin topped. And if you're going to hold and continuing forward or DCAing or participate in ProveX, be prepared for the consequences. I am. I will only blame myself. Do not blame your fellow Hetzikins. Do not blame your fellow Paulsakins. Do not blame your streamers. It is not your streamers who made you push the buttons. And also, you guys love, not you maybe so much in my chat, but on Twitter, love screaming at the streamers like they're responsible for your retardedness with your money because you can't pay your bills and you can't put food on your table and your wife is divorcing you. You made your bed. Not the streamer, not Richard Heart. You did. Okay? Understand the consequences and what you're investing in. If you can't handle the volatility, if you can't handle shit going to zero, if you can't handle the risk, obviously there's other asset classes you can invest in that don't have that, like real estate, for example. And even real estate has some volatility to some regard, to some degree. We've been talking about that for the last couple months. I think we're going to see a bit of a bear market in real estate coming up. So these are the things that you have to understand moving forward, and you got to be willing to take on these consequences if you're going to move forward. I am. I'll be hodling. And like I said, I'll probably participate. I'm like 50-50. I would like to see him live stream. Because the one thing that keeps going through my mind is what if some of these plebs who are saying that Richard Hart's Twitter got hacked, what if they're right? I would like to see some kind of I saw people screaming proof of life. I would also like to see that, obviously. It would give my confidence in the new sacrifice, where I'd probably put in a little bit more. If he streamed and I saw him promoting it, yeah, I'd probably put in a little bit more than I'm probably going to put in right now. So that's something to consider. I would like to see it stream. He said he was going to, kind of basically in a roundabout way, in one of his Twitter posts. Let's see if that comes to fruition. I'd like to see it to come to fruition. it'd be also bullish for all the Pulse Chain assets if we started streaming again. So I would like to see that. I would put a little bit more in ProveX. If I saw that, it also would instill a lot more confidence in the community as a whole. People might not be selling at a loss as much if he streamed. So I hope he does stream. He's insinuated that he is going to. So let's see if he's going to do it. So those are my thoughts. Once again, there's no one to blame but yourself if this all goes to zero. And if you push sell today, you're probably selling at a loss. I know I'd be if I would push sell today. And there's still no one to blame but yourself. And you have to look yourself in the mirror and say, how can I keep from this happening ever again? And you have to learn from it. It's very important. All right. So be prepared if you're going to move on with these assets. And I still have faith in them. I still believe they will do well. But I could be totally effing wrong. I'm just a guy on the internet who has no clue, and I have lost large sums of money before in my life, actually multiple times. My third real estate deal, I lost $250,000. I lost all my 401k money from my work. I lost my life savings. And I kept doing real estate afterwards, and it was the only way I could make it back. And I had probably 20, 40, who knows how much times I made it back. It was great. But I would never have happened if I had never pushed on. It was a big learning lesson that I had to endure. So this could be one of those situations again. I do not know. I don't have answers. I do not have answers. And this could be one of those situations again. But I think he does have a plan. I think there is something going to come good out of all this at the end of the movie. And I'm in it. I'm in it with you guys. I'm going to keep doing streams. I had to take a little time off there last week to let everything settle in. I will, it's still settling in for me, so I don't know how much I'm going to stream this week. I'm still kind of getting acclimated to do all this. New lows is going to be really tough, especially since we're already down like 90% on most of the stuff. I mean, Hex is down more than that, but like your Pulse Chain, PulseX, stuff like that's down 90. PulseX might be down more. I don't know. It might be like 95%. So new lows is hard to swallow, right? Hard to stomach. But once again, it's only my fault because I bought the highs. I bought the highs. There you go. There you go. It's no one else's fault. So, yeah, that's my thoughts, guys. I know I was kind of quiet last week. I had a couple people reach out to me and ask my thoughts. I was like, I saw someone tag me on one of Richard Hart's posts. Say, Corey, you participating? I'm like, man, I'm not answering this shit now. No idea what I'm doing. Well, I don't make rash decisions. I don't. I take time to let stuff settle in. I think about things before I make a decision, right? I let things absorb. I'm like, okay, what is everything going on here? And that gives me time to put my emotions aside some. And I'm not acting out of emotion. And so I'm still absorbing. I'm still letting stuff sink in. We still have probably 14 more days, maybe a little bit less than that. Maybe it's 12. I don't know the best rate to ProveX sacrifice. Still got some time there. And once again, like I said, Buck and Dylan and those guys got a pretty cool pool going on that will reward you the 3x multiplier. And I'm not getting paid for that. I don't have a referral link. I don't have any of that shit. It's just telling you what I'm doing, what I'm going to use is that. Because I do believe it's a mistake he's given the 3x multiplier. Because one of the biggest problems we had this time around is you got people like Rackham who got the 2.5x multiplier. And why is it more than last time? Like, what the fuck was that about? Why did he do more? I don't know. That pisses me off, right? It's like, damn, bro, come on, man. Rackham got 2.5x, right? And what did he do the entire time is dump on us because he got a lot more coins than we did. I put in six figures and he got a lot more coins. He put in millions and millions of dollars. So, that part's frustrating. But once again, I don't have to participate if I don't like it, right? So, but once again, the pool kind of mitigates that. Yeah, do I add some counterparty risk? Yeah, sure. But it's worth it to add a little counterparty risk. That way I'm not getting eaten by the whales on this thing. So that's the way I look at it. Once again, let that all soak in, and maybe I'll have some more updates on my thought processes as the week moves on. Once again, guys, make sure you're touching grass. You're out there doing things for yourself. You're out there doing things for your mental well-being, your spiritual well-being, your physical well-being. Go to the gym, get some running in, work on your business, spend some time with your family, your loved ones, right? And if you are in pain and you have, you need the money, then you probably should push the sell button. If you can't hold on another market cycle, you probably should push some of the sell button to mitigate risk and to get some liquidity back in your life if you're overexposed. If you're having suicidal thoughts, you probably should push the sell button and get some of that liquidity back into your bank account to stabilize your life again. Okay? There's nothing wrong with pushing the sell button. There's always something wrong when you hang around and you play the misery loves company game. We talk about that so many times on this show. So push sell if you're in extreme pain, if you're suicidal, if you can't pay your mortgage, you can't put food on the table. This was your go in all, I'm all in, either to the moon or bust. Well, that was probably a mistake, especially at this point in the race, because this race could go a lot longer. A lot longer. Literally another cycle. If you think about that, you need to sit down and give that some really serious thought. And that's not even just with the RH assets, that's with all crypto. And if you're not prepared for that, there's probably some that you should take off the table. How much is up to you and what you need for your life. It's going to be different. So these are my thoughts. Let's check in with you guys. I want to connect with you guys a little bit today. I know it's like very melodramatic today a little bit, but I just want to give you a very serious talk to you guys on the way to think this through. I don't want to see some of you guys killing yourselves. I don't want to see some of you guys not eating and your family starving over this. I don't want to see you guys having divorces over this. You need to put your spiritual and your mental and your physical and your financial health first. And then crypto can come into after that. So, Hex Wizard 369, what's up, man? What's up, Corey? Is it a bull run yet? Man. Was for Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin's going to rebound. We have to get above the 50-week moving average, though. If it doesn't, if it goes up and touches it and bounces back down, man, it's no bueno. Buck got me pumped on ProveX. Yeah, it's the only way I'll participate, man. For me, I trust the guy, right? Like, I know the guys, I know Dylan really well. I've hung out with Dylan in person in life, real life, right? I know those guys. So for me, it's an easy decision if I participate in ProveX to go through them till I can, get the 3x multiplier. It's the only way to play the game. So I would not be playing the game if I was not going to the pool. Honest truth. There is no way I'd go in that sacrifice if I was not in the pool. So that way these whales can get 3x times more coins than me. Fuck no, bro. Fuck no. But Myth and Man the Legend, what's up, Crypto 7? How you doing, brother? Smash the likes. Yes, guys, go over and subscribe to Crypto 7. He's always keeping it real, too. Love the guy. Thank you so much for everything you do, brother. Freeman, 1990. Option 2 here. Same here, man. I'm hodling. I still believe in the system. It's still crypto. If these things do pump, they can pump wildly high, right? They can make legacy wealth for you and your family. But I'm also willing to hold too, man. I'm willing to hold for a very long time if I need to. It might come to that. It might come to that. Outstanding sentiment. Thanks, man. I appreciate it, Charles. Yeah, just trying to keep it real and the way I think these things through. And this stuff is still absorbing to me, right? I'm still thinking, like I'm still not right. Like it's a lot to take in, right? It's a lot of stuff. And you guys heard me last week at the beginning of the week. I told you about like what I would like to see in the sacrifice. None of it came to fruition. I was like, nothing. Oh, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. So, but I'm prepared for it. It's what I signed up for. This is what I signed up for. So let's do it. And while I'm waiting, I'm gonna focus more on my business. Touching grass, right? I'm gonna focus more on the business, growing the business, making sure that I have good, stable foundation here in the real world. And these things go. When they go, then good. I'll have a seat at the table. I'm buying more cores today. We'll all make it. I love it, man. Paul Shane saying Gaines. He's taking option 3 or 4 or whatever I said it was. Yeah, he's DCing in the cores. Love it. Nothing wrong with it, man. Freeman 99, no cry fag. And yeah, man, I mean, the thing is when you cry fag all over Twitter, it doesn't do anything but hurt yourself, in my opinion. People are like, oh, I'm putting pressure on RH. No, you're not. All he does is click the block button and he never sees you again. You're not going to pressure him to do shit he doesn't want to do or whatever he has planned. Right? And that's what the cry fagging does. All it does is like hurt you and you wallow in your own misery and you attract other people who are miserable. That's all it does, man. Go do something else with your life instead of cry fagging. Push the sell button, get rid of the pain, and go focus on something else. See, it's easy. Nice bottom single stream hinge. I hope so, man. Although I'm not capitulating, but I don't know. There's no low that I could go to where I would capitulate. It's like, fuck it, man. It's like, ride or die. I'll just make more money in the real world. That's why I'm focusing more on the business now. That's my way to like mitigate risk. I'm like, okay, I gotta like go like 10 times harder over here to make sure I'm bringing more money in again for me and my family, and then just let this sit for a while. That's how I mitigate risk. Yeah, I hope it is, man. It would be nice. Beyond all, what's up, man? Man, it feels like getting liquidated every day. Paul saying, but will endure till liquidated without taking any leverage. Yeah, man, it does feel that way. Yeah, it sucks logging on every day and you see a new low. We haven't made all-time new lows yet. It's interesting. I'd be wondering if we go down there and touch the all-time new low or and then we bounce. So that's the thing, guys. We're still hanging out in the same zone we've always been in. I mean, Pulse's all-time low is 4 zeros like 1-8. I know we're getting close. It's like 4 zeros, 1-8, 1-9, somewhere in that area. Pulse X is 5 zeros, 9. Once again, I know we're getting close. Ink's like 40 cents, right? 44 cents, something like that. Hex has gotten pretty close. The Hex is at 2035. So we haven't made all-time new lows. So it might go down there and retest the all-time low, and that's where the bounce happens. I don't know, right? I'm just guessing shit right now. There's no way of knowing. This shit just does what it wants, man. Good approach, yeah, for Pulse Trading Insane Gains. Buying Pulse today is getting it cheaper than Rackham got it. That's for sure. Right? That's a good point there, 7. He's not in profit no more. Finally. Took a while. And plus, he sold a lot of his bags. I'm sure he's got a lot of bags left. I don't know how much more selling he's got in the tank. You'd think he'd be kind of exhausted. Maybe not. It's been years. God, I can't believe it's been years. I think Pulse Trading's almost 1,000 days old. God, can you believe that? 1,000 days. It's crazy, but you are buying it cheaper than you when Rackham got it. Yep. He's right. The most homosexual cycle ever, man. Chad, you got that shit right, man. No altcoin season. Bitcoin top might be in. Like, what the hell? Trump's done nothing but wreck the markets with his tariffs. Oh, my God. List goes on. You're so right, 7. Yeah, we got to keep buying and stay positive. Yep. But only do it if you're prepared for the outcome. If you're prepared for the negative and the positive, right? The if the negative outcome comes out of this and this all goes to zero and it's all shit, be prepared for that. And of course, you're prepared if it goes and does 100x, right? But be prepared for that, and also be prepared for the time. What if the bull's in? You know, I know it's easy to ignore and say, no, it's not in. And we have to look at all the situations. We need, as a smart investor, you got to look at all scenarios. There's a scenario where the bull market is over. You willing to wait another cycle? It's a good question. 7's not sacrificing. Nice people invited me into a pool, but that's sucking middlemen. Yeah, I agree. I'd rather be a sucking middleman on this and then let the whales gobble me up. That's the pool I'm going in. I trust those guys. I know the guys really well. So, but I understand your thinking there, 7. I do. Acid Thunder afternoon, Corey. Crypto Mike, hey guys, what's going on, Crypto Mike? How are we doing? NJ Dubs, if this all goes to zero, I don't think it will. It'd just be more about how it happened. Nobody predicted the founder just going MIA and being on the back of a milk carton for 3 years. I agree. Yeah, you go thank our boys over at Interpol for that shit. Let's see if this new project though, ProveX, can bring him back into the limelight. We win it together. We will, man. That's it. We're in this either it's one way or the other, right? It's either moon or bust. We're on it together. Pulse Chain Animal, hi, what's going on to you? 5 to 10,000 steps a day keeps a mobility scooter obey. That's the truth. I love it. Yeah, you guys, you should be getting around 10,000 steps a day. They say if you do that, then yeah, you get like literally prolonged aging, you know, good 10, 20, 30 years, because it does a lot of great stuff for you. So you don't have to be the guy who goes on and runs 5 miles on a treadmill every day. If you go out and get 10,000 steps a day, you're going to be in good shape. All right, man, I know. Just keeping it real, man. I'm not capitulating. Just, you know, I always been I want to come on here and discuss my thought processes, right? Think how I think these things through, trying to analyze them from every perspective. And that's what I'm doing. Yeah, most bears I've seen you. Maybe I'm a bottom signal. That'd be great, man. Fuck, let's go. Bottom signal, give me the green. That'll be great. But I mean, I'm a good part of me is still bullish and still has faith in this ecosystem. That's why I'm holding. That's why I'm continuing on. If I had zero faith in this ecosystem, I would be pushing the sell button. I'm not doing that. So great stream, giving folks some reality checks. That's it, man. You got to be prepared for this, man. And I want to see people freaking committing suicide over this shit. This is some pretty serious shit that we're all going through here recently. Some people are overexposed, for sure. For sure. I'm pretty close to being one of those people. Like, I have a lot in, man. It's like I'm almost all in too. I have the business, thank God. You know, I got a couple pieces of real estate. I got my what do you call it? Not fun. My Atlanta, Georgia syndication. I don't know why I couldn't think of the word today. I have my syndication deal. I'm in Georgia. That's got going. That's making me some money, which is good. So, yeah, but I'm pretty close, man. Pretty close. Crypto Mike, I'm going to pass on ProveX for now, just holding my core as long as that's good, man. I think that's a great option. I think it's a stellar option. If ProveX does well, it should do well for the cores too. So you're in the game. I think it's a great option. Didn't Richard admit the multiplier in the last sack was a bad idea? I don't remember, dude. Probably. I don't know. The 3S multiplier is freaking shit, though. I'm not a fan of it at all. But I'm not the operator. I'm not the one making the coin or the protocol. It's up to me if I want to participate. So it's all on my shoulders, right? What I do with my money. 777 for Crypto 7. What's going on, man? The sacrifice is a big distraction. The important thing is how ProveX might support the ecosystem. It could. It could, man. And this could be part of the play, right? And getting people to capitulate their bags for this. I don't know, man. I didn't sign up for this. I also accept what it is and what it could be. We did sign up for it, though. It's our responsibility. We got to take full accountability for our actions. We pushed the buy button. Crypto could do anything. This can go to zero tomorrow. He could run off with everything if he wanted to, and this could go to zero. We signed up for it. We signed up for it because we knew the risk. Completely signed up for it, Frank. Crypto 532. First, the sketchy pad, and now prove us running from one shiny out. Yeah, I mean, he's trying different things, man. He's an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurs have this habit of trying different stuff, and if it doesn't work, then you try something new. I've had many failed businesses, and you always try until one hits. Right? And that's what he's trying to do. He's trying different things. He saw probably the tablets was not working, or maybe there was some logistic problems. He's like, fuck, I got to pivot. It's costing me too much money. It's as simple as that. So Charles says, I cannot tell you what a blessing going to church, hitting gym, running, and date night with my wife are. Dude, dude, you're living life, bro. That's how to do it right there. Immediately I check charts at church and the gym and on the run. And I mean, at least you're trying, bro. Brownie points are trying, and you're probably still feeling a lot better, right? You're in there, doing things to make your mind at ease. You're helping your spirit. You're helping your physical well-being. You're helping your relationships. I get it, man. I tend not to check the charts more than maybe once a day. For me, I'll check in. It's like, man, fuck, because here's the thing, man. If you see something pumping or dumping really hard, you'll see it on Twitter anyways. Like everyone will be screaming and crying about it on fucking Twitter. So it's not like you won't know if you check Twitter. Now, if you don't check Twitter at all, yeah, it could be justified checking the charts a couple times a day. Yeah. Sunny 11, positive vibes. So my Hexicans, Pulsicans, same. Yeah. And if you guys, man, have like suicidal thoughts, or this is like, something that you're overexposed and you're just not sure what the fuck to do, and you're coming to that, man, feel free to DM me. I don't want anyone here watching my show who I've been, creating content with for the last couple of years, entertain these thoughts. So if there's something that, that maybe we could discuss and work out, don't hesitate to reach out, man. If it's something that, if it's gotten that bad, yeah, reach out. Don't do something where ultimately at the end of the day, loved ones are really going to suffer bad. Loved ones are going to really suffer. So just, yeah. So don't be afraid to reach out. My DMs are always open on Twitter. Don't DM me on Telegram. Telegram's so dirty, and it takes me months to see it. And everything gets buried in Telegram for me. But Twitter, I see it. Yeah, it is, man. I agree. It is. It is a disaster right now. And so we'll see it through. That's it. And if it goes to shit, yeah, now I got one person to blame. That's me. So checks my pulse. Good afternoon, Corey. What's up, my man? Checks my pulse. Glotmatics, prayer is a trading strategy. Yeah. I pray every day, man. Every day I pray. And I pray for crypto as a way of healing. Like, I want people to be healed and people not to be hurt by this asset class. That's where I pray for. See, you can't like pray to God and, hey, man, give me 1,000x. It's not the way prayer works. But, I do want this asset class to be healed some, and as a whole, right? Because right now, this cycle hasn't been that way. It hasn't. This cycle has been very different than previous cycles. So 10,000 hex a day. Are you buying 10,000 hex a day instead of 10,000 steps? It's not bad. It's not a bad strategy, I guess. I'm overexposed, wrecked, but it is what it is. Yeah, I'm overexposed too, man. I am. And if I went for my business, of course, I'd have to take some off the table, right, and put it back in the bank account. But my business, thank God I have that. And I keep working on that, growing that. But I'm there with you, man. It's like, but think it through, man. Make the right decisions, and sometimes selling is not the wrong decision. I'm sorry. It's not. But it is what it is. Only a couple mil sack for Provax. Yeah, this is useless. Said to do well. Yeah, as to use of treasury funds, the SAC proved without a doubt that RH is. Yeah, I mean, he either you see it through the end or push sell. That's it. I mean, I believe that he has a plan and that there's something that's going to come out of all this that will be good. but it could literally take another 4 years. I don't know if you're ready for that. Yeah, man, absolutely. For 340K buy, you can get 50K slippage. There's no liquidity left in sequencing. Yeah, that's pretty huge. It's probably, I mean, you could use liquidity providing. 340K is a pretty big clip to be buying in one go. I would not be buying $340,000 in one shot. I'd be DCAing that money because we could go lower. And to your point, that way you avoid some of that slippage, and then you can provide liquidity to help with that. What that secret chart do? It's whole. Actually, man, it's not. You know what, dude? It's not that bad. I'll show you guys. Considering the fucking FUD. Let me see if I can bring it up. I don't know if I can't get StreamYard to do anything I want today. But let's bring it up real quick. If I can. It's not. Let's see. Come on. Come on, StreamYard. There we go. Come on, StreamYard. That's not the chart I want. That is EX. Pulse WE. It is not as bad as you would think. Shocking enough. Look, it's just going sideways. Now we've made a new low again. We were kind of going up and looked like we were going to start making that W that we wanted, but we're just kind of going sideways with a little bit up and to the right. Like we're just kind of flattening out. We need to create market structure. This could take time too. I mean, this could be like, dude, it could be till 2026. We need to create market structure in here. And that's only going to happen too if the bull run's still on. But it's not horrible, man. We're not going like in a downward spiral against ETH. ETH is also getting wrecked too. That's why. Oh, I know, dude. Fucking brutal. Yeah. I didn't get into the X games too much, man. I got into Solid X, of course. You guys know that. And it sucks, dude. Still have the bag, man. It is what it is. I'm going to hold it. If he decides he wants to do something with the ecosystem, great. I know he's kind of defeated too. He had a lot of people who he had trusted dump on him from what his story is. So, yeah, I don't know, man. I wish I had answers. I still have my bag. I'm just going to hold it. If it makes something good, great. If it doesn't, fuck. Is what it is. I didn't make my Solid X bag bigger than my cores, though. And so I hope none of you guys did that. Like, your cores should be bigger. This was always a meme coin play. That's the one thing that, I want to stress. Anytime you go into these altcoins on Pulse Chain, meme coins, you almost want to call them. And like, this was pretty much a meme coin. Had no utility until the game launched. You need to treat it accordingly. Too late to sell. Luckily, I have businesses to make money on the road. That's where I'm at, man. Yeah, that's kind of my thought processes. If I was in serious pain, like if I needed to pay the mortgage, if I needed food on the table, if my wife was going to leave me, or if I was getting suicidal, I would push the sell button. I mean, this is where you got to make the decision, right? You kind of cut the pain off. You cut if you have like an arm that's gangrene and it's destroying you, it's going to kill you if you don't cut it off. Sometimes you just got to cut it off. Yeah, maybe it heals back stronger. So I have been comfortably numb. Touching grass does help with that because you don't think about stuff when you're out there doing other things in the real world, not making crypto your entire life. I hope everything can hang in there. It's fucking gruesome out here, and markets try to stay positive. I know it's hard. Yeah, I agree. Hex Wizard. I agree. Comfortably numb. Yeah, 7. So that's a good description of it. I'm in deep. I'm not going anywhere. I still think we'll make it. I keep buying small amounts when I can. Genius or dumb. Either way, man. I love it, man. I do. And as long as you understand, all the outcomes and you're thinking through every scenario as a smart investor, proceed on then, good sir. Everyone's in the same boat. BTC too. Yeah, dude, BTC might have topped, bro. I don't know. Just 80-20 right now. I don't know, dude. I think we'll be fine with Bitcoin. We'll see. This week is going to be a real telling, right? They say you have to close 2 weekly candles under the 50-week SMA. I don't know. We'll see. So, the 4 years, as far as if you look at timing is concerned, the 4 year cycle, this puts it right where the top, excuse me, this put us right where the top should have been. Now, is that the cycle going to be pushed out some because of business ISM and liquidity and global liquidity index and everything else sucking ass? That's what I believe, right? Raoul Powell's and Collins talks crypto. They're kind of talked about this, right? And I do believe that's what we're in for. But there is a possibility. Once again, if a smart investor thinks of all outcomes, one of the outcomes could be we topped. And if we topped, be ready to hold for another cycle. That's all I'm saying. Listening to In the Grind, exterior carpentry, fishing up trim of the house, man, making that money, touching some grass. Feel like temperature is 19 degrees. Woo! I'm back in AZ, man. AZ is chilly. I went out for my morning run today. Today's my cardio day. And went out there at 6 a.m. Man, my hands froze. I got ski gloves. Tomorrow I'm wearing ski gloves. Well, tomorrow I hit the gym. I go to the gym. I do resistance training tomorrow. And then Wednesday's a cardio day. I'm wearing gloves, bro. I'm wearing ski gloves tomorrow. My hands were numb when I got home. I was like, fuck, man. I got enough pain. I don't need this pain too. All right, guys, that's it for me. I'm going to get out of here. I just wanted to hop on and connect with you guys. I'm still in it. I'm still here. If you guys need to connect, reach out. I'm always here, especially if you're having some thoughts that are, not productive or they're ill. Reach out. If it's not me, reach out to a loved one, somebody who can make a difference, and that way, you can get some help. And, there's nothing wrong with pushing the sell button. There really isn't at this point, right? There's also nothing wrong with holding. It's up to you. You have to make that decision because you got to look at yourself in the mirror. Because at the end of the day, you take full accountability of the actions you make in your life. You push those buttons. Everything in your life that's happened up to this point in your life is all because of you. Remember that. Guys, I love all you guys. Peace. Stay good out there.